Hello and welcome everybody to Round 1 Front 9 coverage of the 2020 Great Lakes Open presented by Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by my co-host Tristan Tanner. What's up, dude?
Hello, everyone. We have a fun card today. We have Eagle McMahon, Greg Barsby, Reed Frescura, and Adam James.
And we are taking down the Toboggan course today, and it is a blast out there.
Yeah, a lot of elevation change, a lot of big shots. It's going to be a fun round.
Yeah. And again, shout outs to all the Patreon supporters out there. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media. They do fantastic things for the sport. And yeah, we have this fantastic card. We have world champion Greg Barsby, Eagle McMahon, Reed Frescura, and Adam James. And we haven't seen much of Reed this season. He's actually been in Michigan. That's been pretty locked down. So this might be his first big tournament back, and we'll see how he does here. Especially amongst this giant stacked field that we have this weekend.
Definitely. I think we have like almost 60,000 rated players.
Yeah.
I think.
Hole number 1, downhill par 3. They've shortened it from last year. Righties are taking a big turnover line, or if you do have the big enough sidearm, you can throw a sidearm on this hole. And there is the OB left still.
I think today we had a little bit of a headwind.
Little bit of headwind off the tee. So Barsby's definitely going to opt for the forehand.
And as you'll see on a lot of tee pads here, we are allowed to tee off to the sides of these tee pads.
Yes. And Barsby with a pretty solid flick. Thought it was going to hyzer out a little bit too early, but it started flipping.
Eagle definitely has the forehand power to get to this basket.
And he's going pure hyzer forehand.
Just outside the circle. That's pretty good.
Reed also going big hyzer. Yeah, just outside circle 1. It's one of those shots where if you want to pin the hole, you have to let it fade way out of your sight. You think it's way too far right, but it's parked pretty much. So hopefully Adam makes the correction here.
That does look a little bit better if it gets the distance. That's just fine. Very common to be just edge of circle on this hole.
Exactly. Adam from about 65 feet. Just left of the basket. And Reed, after winning the virtual putting challenge in the quarantine offseason, just a little low. Oh, rough.
Very
rollaway.
Unfortunate.
Those new pads on the bottom of the baskets have been tending to pop the disc back a little bit more if you hit that.
Yeah, there's definitely some interesting action that can happen.
To say the least.
Great
Nice
putt from Eagle. It's always good to hit your first putt on this course because I feel like you have a lot of putts throughout the round.
Lots of circle 2 looks on a lot of these holes.
Definitely.
And Reed from circle 2 as well. Actually just inside C1, and he buries the comebacker. And sweet birdie from Barsby.
Beautiful drive. We kind of overlooked that.
Yeah, I don't think the catch cam really caught that. But yeah, he threw kind of a hyzer flip forehand. So we thought it was going to die out, but kept pushing. What do you think about hole number 2 here?
Hole 2 is uphill par 4. The first shot, you're just going to be trying to get somewhere at the bottom of the hill, and then everyone is going to have really tricky footing on the second shot. It plays much longer than the 726 that we see on the distance. Yeah. So let's see if we can get any birdies on this hole.
And what I like about this change this year, they moved it back to the long position, and they're forcing the players to really take this tee shot seriously and push it as far as they can up the hill. Whereas before it was marked a par 5, players were kind of betting against the field, playing a little bit more safe. But I think the distance of the tour is starting to improve universally, so I like the change.
Definitely. I believe that was a PD from Eagle. And there is that little bump, probably a quarter of the way up the hill. And if you can get over that, your footing actually gets a little bit flatter.
And Reed opting for just kind of a nice clean hyzer to the bottom of the hill. And I would definitely bet money on Adam going aggressive on this one.
Yeah, this is a shot that plays to his game. He likes that little bit of annier flat release and letting the disc drift over.
And he put the disc out really where he wanted it to end up and then just didn't take the anhyzer into consideration. And that's a big side.
That's great. At that point, once you're off to the side, you're just thinking 4.
Yeah, exactly.
And just getting up the fairway and giving yourself an approach.
All right.
Yeah, great
Sweet shot. And I would say this is one of the tougher approaches we throw all year. That uphill run-up just makes it so challenging to get your legs utilized in the throw.
Definitely.
And Eagle, one of the best at it.
Wow, that is a great shot. Just barely over that hillside, get onto that hard-packed dirt.
And that looked like a fairway driver, too. Adam going zone here.
Ooh, a little bit of a run, even.
And whenever Barsby throws an approach from this distance, I really wonder if he's actually trying to throw it in. He's actually led the Pro Tour in throw-in percentage, I think, 2 out of the however many years we've been going at this.
Wow. Yeah, he's definitely great at those spinny little AVR approaches.
And Reed puts his a little bit deep. He'll be at about 34 feet. Just a little bit low. And the elevated pin is giving these players some trouble.
These are, especially at the top of these slopes, the wind is a little bit, you don't really know if you're supposed to have wind or not. That could be a factor. Unfortunate there from Adam.
And that's the tricky part about this green. Look how hard pan the dirt is right next to the basket. So where you need to land it is where it's probably going to be skipping.
Yeah, it's one of those, for such a hard shot, you really have to be able to land the disc soft.
Very softly.
If you want to have a more makeable putt.
And Eagle taps in just a flawless birdie.
Yeah, pretty perfection there. Exactly how you want to play the hole.
Reed and Barsby tap in some bogeys. And Eagle's off to a decent start.
Yeah, that's 2 down through 2. These uphill holes that we have for the first 3 are very hard to get your birdies on. And speaking of hole 3, we are going back down the same hill. This is a par 4. A little bit of an interesting tee shot. Pretty tight on the right side and some OB left. And then a lot of people have blind approaches into this basket.
Yeah, that's what's interesting. So the right side, they don't even need to make it out of bounds because of how thick that rough is. It's really natural out of bounds. And the farther you want to bite off the tee, the more blind your approach is. So I think it's a very balanced hole. You'll see a lot of players play these holes or this hole differently.
Definitely.
Eagle's going to go driver.
I believe that's his PD again.
And if that flexes out, that's going to be giant.
That is huge.
Yes. I agree. That is a awesome shot. He'll have a nice little chip shot to the green. Barsby going sidearm.
A little bit of Annie out of the hand. Wants it to fight back.
He'll be in an okay position, potentially some rough footing on that little ridge. And being a lefty as well, I could see Reed going a little bit safer.
Really throwing it low, a little bit of a hyzer flip.
And he'll be right on that ridge there. Adam going buzz, it looks like. And I really like this play.
Yeah, just throwing a stable mid-range down, and it's just going to get that straight flight. You're also going to be a little bit shorter, which allows you to see the basket on the second shot.
Absolutely. And that's why I think this is a really smart play if you have it. And he definitely has the sidearm for this.
It's his force.
Wow, that came out of his hand with some pace.
It's a great line.
Awesome shot.
Beautiful shot. That's executing your game plan right there.
Huge sidearm.
Greg actually right on top of the ridge.
That's going to sit down. Did not see an OB marker on the film. He might be right on the line.
It's going to be close. Reed actually having decent footing, not too far onto that ridge. Just a little bit short.
Hell of another circle 2 look. An eagle after throwing to the next county.
This is really, you have to trust your shot on this one.
Trust your shot, your depth perception, and as you can see, blows it a little bit long.
Ooh. Little grr from Greg there.
Eagle from about 40 feet. Sweet putt.
Smooth. 3 down through 3. That's a great start.
Yeah. And he looks really in control, too. The disc looks like it's coming out exactly how he wants it. Let's see it again. I just love the trajectory of his putt.
Beautiful.
Flat, tiny bit of hyzer to grab the strong side. Lets it land into the basket.
And just on the pole the whole way.
Mm-hmm. Great putt. And then Reed with another circle 2 look. This definitely is his specialty range.
So that was a par from Greg, so he was indeed safe after that second shot. Good cleanup there from Reed.
After a 430-foot hyzer forehand, Adam's going to take the birdie and move on to the next hole.
Ooh,
oh, boy.
Wow.
Practice throw?
Gonna have to work on that putter bag throw, Adam.
Introducing the Innova Invictus. It's an overstable Speed 10 distance driver. This disc offers superior control even in windy conditions. It's also great for long-range forehand throws. The Invictus holds a consistent fade throughout the entire flight. Garrett Gerthy says, if you think you have the power, you need this disc.
Moving into hole number 4, one of the shorter par 4s in the course, but it's a little tricky off the tee where you want to land your shot.
Yeah, a lot of players are going to try to play a big hyzer or some sort of flex shot if you're a lefty or a forehand player. But everyone's trying to just get near these trees and leaving yourself a look up to the basket.
Yeah, really, if you aim for the canopy of those trees, you can even just, quote-unquote, plinko down to the ground and have somewhat of an approach to this this sloped green. And I think Eagle's going to probably try to hyzer around everything.
Yeah, he definitely has the power to get to that all the way into the past the trees zone, actually.
He actually kind of pushed it a little bit more inside than I thought he would, but I think where he's at, he has a pretty good forehand approach to the basket. And that looks pretty solid if that keeps moving left.
Barely clips that side. It's a tough line because you really want to be a little bit higher to open up that gap enough.
And whatever Barsby's throwing has a ton of glide. And he's about the same spot as Adam.
Gonna see this flex, or even just a flat shot from Reed.
He might have some sort of look. And this is a hard skip to play. If you're coming in from that angle on that much of a slope, you'll mainly get a forward skip rather than cutting up the hill right. So from where Adam and Barsby are at, they're going to have a similar issue. That's about as good as you can get it.
That's a great shot with that zone from Adam. Assume Firebird from Greg.
Yeah, and see how they're trying to land it farther up the hill before it skips so you don't get that forward push. So that was 2 awesome approach shots. And Eagle has to go forehand roller.
Wow, that is looking great.
That's going to sit down.
He is an incredible shot.
No
from
stranger
right
to that line. Sweet shot. And that might have rolled down.
Yeah, there is a pretty severe slope behind this basket.
Yes. So even if you do hit the basket or the the pad underneath the basket, you could get a nasty roll down there.
Sit down.
Oh no.
Really?
Not a very warm welcome back for Reed, but hopefully he can pick up the putting as the round goes by. And that's going to sit down.
Oh my gosh.
Nice putt from Greg. After watching the rollaways that Reed had, it's good that Greg took a couple extra seconds to breathe and reset.
That's a great up and down from Eagle.
Yeah.
Can't mention that enough. That is a very hard shot.
If you were to pick a player on tour to throw you a forehand roller,
probably him.
I'd probably pick Eagle anyway, so.
I would agree.
And Reed with another weird lie. And that is an unfortunate double bogey 6 from Reed. Definitely not the hole you want that on. What do you think about the shape on hole number 5 here?
Hole 5's kind of an interesting hole. It's much more right than you think it is, but also there's 2 main gaps. It's just kind of a tricky in-between disc type of hole.
So you have this inside gap that the drone is flying. There's one gap over to the left from this one that a lot of players are trying to throw a forehand through. Lefties can throw kind of a nose-up hyzer, flipping hyzer that gets a little flare. I actually really love the shape of this hole. Almost gets it.
And as we've said about a couple other holes on this course, is this one, it produces a lot of edge of circle putts.
Yes.
Again, from that short side.
There are quite a few trees blocking the basket. Adam tries to flick Crystal Raptor. And that's what's interesting. When I watch players throw those overstable discs on the hyzer, I think it's actually a step down in stability you want. Because the disc is already moving right. You want the disc to kind of push up as it's fading. So it's a really cool shape. Barsby's shot goes a little early as well.
Interesting, a forehand from Reed.
And that was a rough roll. And now he's going forehand roller, it looks like.
That'll be just outside the circle.
Sounded like he had that right on line.
Yeah, maybe just a little leaf hit. Eagle from a similar spot.
I love the camera angle behind the basket to show how framed up his line was. And I hope that didn't take another roll.
I really hope it did not.
And we are not seeing quite a putting display right now.
Yeah, maybe a couple weeks break from the Disc Golf Pro Tours, so definitely it can be hard to get back into rhythm a little bit.
Especially on a course where Circle 2 putting is so important. Oh, no. And you got to feel for him at this point.
Yeah, that can be unfortunate for sure, especially after the couple rollaways on the last hole. It's hard to be confident when you're up on the green.
Especially knowing on this course, you know, players shooting an 18 down out here, you know, you have to get those putts. You have to take those pars to keep up. Hole number 6, par 4, 632 feet, 192 meters. Funneling fairway. So off the tee, you have a few options of how to get right about here. And then you'll shoot through this gap up to the basket. One of my favorite par 4s on the course, they actually removed a Mando that was in place last year. So now the players have a lot more ways to attack this tee shot.
Yeah, I think taking out that Mando is a great change. It's going to make people play a little more aggressive, maybe trying to get a little farther up the fairway.
And you know he's trying to get aggressive here. Actually, was probably a pretty good kick for him.
Adam going with a flex, actually, which I like because it helps you push straighter. It's really easy to get to the left side of this fairway.
Exactly.
And that's a great shot.
Oh. Okay. Bit of a misfire there from Barsby. Reed going hyzer flip. That's got to keep pushing. And that should be okay.
Yeah, might have that tree in his way a little bit. Greg really having to throw a big Annie forehand.
That's going to sit down.
Get back in the fairway even.
And Greg looking a little rusty as well.
Barely missing on that left side. This is a really interesting shot because you'd think it would be more of a right to left dumping shot, but it's really more of a straight with a little bit of fade at the end.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to have the disc moving left, but it can't fade left, essentially.
Exactly. See Adam going with the forehand zone, I believe, there.
And that's one of the things I really love about Adam is he is not afraid to throw zone on any shot. He'll throw it 350 feet if he needs to. So,
yeah, he really trusts that. I believe that's a glow zone.
Yes, it's one of the best runs of zone that's been in production.
Yeah, he trusts that thing
Hard to come by.
On a lot of different lines.
Eagle from about 45.
That's a hard basket to miss high on.
It is, and the elevated basket on the hill is also kind of a scary concept. Nice birdie from Adam.
He said thank you to you.
Wow.
Eagle with a good cleanup. Still 4 down, a couple pars. See if he can get back on that birdie train.
And after kind of a tough tee shot, Barsby's going to have to settle for a 5, and we will move on to hole number 7.
Hole number 7 is kind of a tricky gap off the tee. Most players are going to be trying to play a right to left moving shot and just kind of getting near this hill you see on the left side, which will then leave either a turnover or a forehand or a lefty hyzer up into this green.
And you see the ropes on the left side. The closer your tee shot is pushing that OB left, the easier shot you have up to the basket. They've made quite a few changes on this hole since, the days of Amnats, having the only layout. So it's really come together as a great pro level par 4.
Adam with
Oh
wow.
my gosh.
A little bit of a slip, but very fortunate to get through that gap.
He needs to go buy
And
a
that
lotto
is
ticket after that.
And that is a great drive.
Yeah, it really
Great
is.
position.
Oh no, the crossbar. That was close to being a fantastic drive.
It's not quite the turn Reed was looking for on that, but with his power on that hyzer line, he might be able to make up for it.
Yeah, and that tree in the middle of the fairway is very well placed. That's pushing a little too straight as well. If you push far enough forward, there is a little low ceiling shot you can throw underneath that tree, but still not an easy line whatsoever.
And a big shout out to our spotters we have out here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a course that is really great to have it. And we see Eagle lining up the hyzer line, it looks like.
Oh, man.
This is kind of a backdoor angle that you wouldn't traditionally play the hole, but if you end up over there to that right side, it is actually a great play.
Looks like he put it a little bit too low for what he wanted, but looks like he's in circle 2. And there's that spike hyzer. Toughest thing about the spike hyzer having to get that far right is, the more spike you have to put on it.
We are getting
No
another
way.
roll. Oh my gosh. Reed is getting some of the most unfortunate breaks right now.
Wow.
Holy cow. Greg really pinched off on that right side.
And as you can see pretty clearly the importance of getting that tee shot left and the troubles it can give players. Adam, after getting a great kick, is trying to throw out. I think that's. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, that's a nice way to finish the hole there.
Reed with a nice approach.
It looks like he's carrying himself well and trying to handle these breaks as professionally as he can. And another bogey for Reed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate right now. It definitely seems like he's playing a pretty good round, but he's just getting some bad breaks that are translating to some more bogeys.
And he's been playing long enough to know that just kind of happens every now and then, and you just have to keep moving and not give up on the round. Hole number 8, 462 foot, 141 meter, par 3. I would call this one a very disciplined hyzer shot.
Yeah, it definitely takes a specific line off the tee. You want to come in low enough to give yourself a guaranteed inside the circle look. If not, you're just kind of crashing the trees and hoping you have a putt.
Yeah, this is one that players definitely spend a lot of time practicing because you cannot see the basket. So it takes a lot of trial and error to figure out the line here. Adam snuck through the tree line. He'll be either edge of circle 1 or just inside circle 2.
Super high line from Eagle. That's a great shot.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And if you do have the power to get over that tree on the right side, like Eagle did, that's actually a great line to take. This is a more common play. And that's also a very common landing as well.
Yep, again, just outside the circle or circle's edge is a common place to be. Reed actually going with the forehand.
Yeah, this is, for the lefty, this is a much easier play than the backhand turnover. I did hear that Nathan Queen threw a Mako 3 and got it with a backhand. So
I was actually on his card when he did that.
Shout-outs to Nathan
and
for
it was
that.
a beautiful shot. Great run from that distance from Reed.
At this point, he's just trying to get something going. I love how lofty Greg's putt is, and he'll do that from even close to the edge of circle 2 if he needs to.
Yeah, he definitely has that up and down motion, and it really makes it so he doesn't really have any comeback putts.
Exactly. And Adam, speaking of comeback putts, has blown by the basket.
Eagle converts on the great birdie.
Oh, no. And that's an uncharacteristic miss from Adam. And with a lot of chaos happening on your card, it's hard to be in the zone like Eagle is. It looks like he's still in control and he's still focused.
Yeah, it can definitely be hard to tune out everything else that's going on and really just focus on your game and what you need to do.
And Eagle's going to take that lone birdie and moving into hole number 9. Par 3, 428 feet, 130 meters. Low ceiling shot here. You have to throw kind of a low inside drifting shot that pushes usually to circle 2. This is a hole that if you throw a perfect shot, you could get to the edge of circle 1. I've seen players throw roller here and have great success, but a very challenging 2 to get.
It looks like Eagle is lining up that roller. Landing it way up the hill, needing it to curl.
It's actually not too bad.
Yeah, that's honestly a fine play. Just kind of blast it up the hill, get the distance, and then take whatever putt you have left.
Barsby going more traditional route. That's got to keep drifting. I did see, if the camera does catch this right side, I did see Thomas Gilbert in practice throwing spike hyzer on this hole, which is outrageous.
Yeah, and I heard he did it in the round yesterday as well.
I'd like to take some credit for encouraging him to do that.
Yeah.
Reed puts his a little bit outside circle 2. And is Adam going for it?
Nope, just with the low line. Driving a force up there. Probably a little early release. Traditionally with that gap, you're trying to go a little bit more right.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to go right of that tree in the middle. Definitely not a throw-in attempt there from Greg.
That definitely was a throwing attempt there from Reed.
That was a sweet little air bounce.
Hat came off. A little bit right. This is there's a lot of these greens out here where you feel like in circle 2 where you normally wouldn't jump or step putt, you need to on this course. Eagle just a little bit high.
Yeah, and this hole actually averaged a 2.98, so very, very solid playing hole. Scoring spread was very solid. Adam's going to take that par.
Yeah, not a whole lot of 2s probably, but also probably not a whole lot of 4s or bigger numbers.
Once you get underneath that low ceiling off the tee, the upshot's pretty routine. And Eagle with a pretty clean front 9. 5 down is pretty solid.
Yeah, he just played clean, got the ones you want to, and see if he can continue it into the back.
And hopefully Reed does not continue this into the back. Hopefully he picks up some steam.
Yeah, he seems confident. He just needs to, just keep playing the way he is.
Exactly.
And hopefully the scores turn around for him. Greg even through the front.
And that's going to do it for our front 9. We have Eagle playing very solid, kind of on track for the score you're looking for here, and everyone else is kind of working to just stay afloat here. Thanks again for tuning in. We will catch you on the back 9.